Hello,
What
sir.
up? What's going on, my man?
I've poured my second cup of Kool-Aid. I might top it up a little bit more, and I'm ready to go.
You down that Kool-Aid, man. Get in. We
Yes,
deserve
sir.
it.
We do. It's been a tough year.
It's been tough, but that was a good game. And if I had hair, I would have been tearing it out after that first quarter. But it's okay because we get the win, and it was never that far away. And Collingwood is shit, and we're not that much better. But we got the win. It ends up looking like a much better margin than it was. But I'm stoked. There's a few key points for me that stood out. It was when Liam Stocker kicked his goal. He was like willing the team to rev up. He was like people were trying to run past him. He was like grabbing him. He's like, "No, let's do this." Like he is going to be an engine of our future. I mean, Sam Walsh. Everyone's spoken about Sam Walsh. When he was drafted, all the experts said that he might become a Joel Selwood type one day. It's too bad they undersold him so much because he's a million times better than that prick. And Matty Kennedy, since he came back into the team around the time Paddy Dow did, he's averaging 23 disposals, about 5 tackles, about 7 marks. I am so thankful that this is happening because I don't know why that we didn't want to play more than one inside mid back in the day, and then Cripps was really good at it, and that's why he commits so much because he thinks he has to do it all. He's been taught his entire career that he has to do it all. Now he doesn't have to. We've got Matt Kennedy. We've got Paddy Dow in there. We've got Stocker that can run through. We've got these guys that can help him. And we're better if Cripps is just a cog in the chain rather than the entire engine. Plus, it saves us from going out and doing something stupid like pay, Luke Dunstan, who's a free agent this season, who I had absolutely pegged as a 100% lock that we would pay him money to come to the club. Surely we don't have to do that anymore. And we're way better for it. And I wanted to shout out, of course, Tom De Koning, who struggled a lot in the first half. And he had that terrible turnover, which resulted in a goal. But he willed himself back into the game, kicked the next goal, and he was on top in that second half. He did a really good job.
There's something about throwing them in the deep end, which I'm a big fan of because you find out about the will and the makeup. And I think there were a few players today who made errors, but what I always look for is what do you do with the very next play? Like, what's the very next contest? How do you do it? And I think Tom was one of them. He made the stuff up, obviously, turned the ball over and gave up the shot in, the shot on goal and whatnot. But the very next contest he was a part of, he kicks the goal. And I think that's important. And I feel like we can wear those. We can wear those mistakes because of the response.
Yeah, I think 100%. I've been watching that show Ted Lasso lately, and in that they talk about being a goldfish because you've only got a memory of 10 seconds. It doesn't matter if you stuff up. And that's why I love Liam Jones because he'll make a horrendous error, but the next play, he's flying at the pack like he has no memory of what just happened. And I think it's a good thing. I think if players can – we've had to spend a lot of time with a lot of players who make a mistake. They get down on themselves and the head goes straight down and it never comes back up. But today we saw – players put their heads up. Harry Mackay's one who didn't have a very good game overall and, didn't present really well at the ball, had no help. But when the opportunity presented itself, he, kicks whatever it was, 3 or 4 in the last quarter and bang, bang, bang. So I love it. And I wanted to point this out. People keep messaging about the heat map. I don't know if you've seen it, Tez, but I'm going to show if it comes through on the screen. Is it coming through? That's legit. That's legit Sam Walsh's heat map, and that's how I feel watching him, mate. That's how I feel.
Is that legit?
That's legit his heat map. The man's a beast in a lot of ways. That's
the definition of get a big one up, you Collingwood.
Mate, and I love my super coach. He scored 193 for the round. He's incredible. He's the best player, and I love him. And there's almost no one that I would say played terrible for us today, which is a real change, a really big change. And there's heaps of sleeves, and that's important. That's sleeves.
Very important. Well, it's been a big couple of weeks for you. The sleeves are now on sale. There's quite a few sleeves out there today. We obviously paid tribute to Serge. God bless his soul. And the sleeves got it done today.
They did. 100% win rate in the sleeves, so I'll be wearing them. I'll probably wear them to bed, to be honest, mate. Let's see what happens.
I think you must. No pants and sleeves. That's the vibe.
That's the vibe. That's how I live my life, brother.
All right, brother. Thanks for jumping on.
Thanks for having me, man.